Okay, these are the solutions of today's paper which I have set for your exam. So this is question number 1. State the modern periodic law. So the modern periodic law states that properties of elements are a periodic function of their atomic numbers. What is the meaning of it? If you arrange the elements as per increasing atomic number, the properties of the elements such as physical properties and the chemical properties will be repeating after regular intervals. So which will repeat after regular interval, and this thing is called periodicity. This is also called as periodicity, remember. Question number 2. What happens to the atomic size of the elements as you move from left to right in a period of the periodic table? So when you move from left to right in a periodic table, so what happens? The atomic number increases, but the number of shells remains the same. Remember, number of cells remains the same. Now you see, as you move from left to right, if the number of shells will be remaining the same, then definitely atomic radius should be similar as you move from left to right. But you can see we get the atomic radius smaller. So what is the main reason behind it? So as you move from left to right, the atomic number increases. Atomic number means the number of protons increases. When the number of protons increases, the power of the nucleus also increases when you move from left to right. The power of the nucleus increases, and as the power of the nucleus increases, the pool of the nucleus or the pool of the nucleus also increases. The electrons will be pulled more towards the nucleus, and as the electrons gets pulled more towards the nucleus, the size or the atomic radius also decreases. So that is why from left to right, as you move across the period, the size or the atomic size of the elements or atomic radius of the elements decreases. So this was about question number 2. The atomic size decreases as we move from left to right in a period. This is because the effective nuclear charge increases. So what is effective nuclear charge? The charge inside the nucleus is called effective nuclear charge. So it is generally determined by the number of protons. So question number 3, name the specialized pore present on the surface of lips through which massive amount of gaseous exchange takes place for photosynthesis. So you see, though the answer is very simple, they have little bit made the question complex. So name the specialized pore present on the surface of the lips through which massive amount of gaseous exchange takes place for photosynthesis. Okay, so definitely that will be stomata. Question number 4, which biological catalyst in bracket enzyme is given? It may not be given in exam. Enzyme, if it is given which biological catalyst is present in human saliva, what is its primary function, you should know that. What are enzyme? Enzyme are biological catalyst. That is why it may be given biological catalyst or enzyme. So as it is, you already are well known about enzyme, so you may be given biological catalyst. So you should know that enzyme are the biological catalyst. The enzyme present in human saliva is salivary amylase, remember. Okay. Next, define the term speciation in the context of evolution. So speciation is a evolutionary process by which new distinct species arises. So what is a species? A group of individuals or a group of population which can reproduce among themselves. And we have seen in sexual reproduction, so when the generation increases, then variation also increases. When variation will increase, then what will happen? There will be change in species, and this changing in species is called speciation. In simpler terms, you write it. Speciation can occur mainly because of gene flow, which I have taught you in class. Gene flow, genetic drift, Genetic drift means sudden changes. Okay, geographical isolation. So these were certain things. Also natural selection. Remember this. Okay, next, an element X belongs to third period and group 16 of the modern periodic table. Determine its valency and justify whether it is a metal or non-metal. Now you see here an element X is given. Okay, it belongs to the third period. You know that number of shells equals to number of period. So here suppose number of period is given. So definitely as cells and number of periods are similar, that is why period, if it is given in third period, definitely it will have 3 shells. So it will be KLM. How much cells? 3 cells are there, KLM. And group 16 of the modern periodic table, you know that from group 13 to group 18 you have to do 10 plus valence electron. Okay, you have to do 10 plus valence electron. That is why we can say that definitely the valence electron in case of group 16 will definitely be 6. Okay, the valence electron definitely will be 6. Then only if we do 10 plus 6 we will be getting 16, its group number. Okay, so what we got it, that valence electron 6 in case of 16 group, and there are 3 cells in case of period number 3. So determine its valency and justify whether it is a metal or non-metal. So X is in group number 16, okay, and period number 3. X is in group number 16 and period number 3. You are asked that determine its valency and justify whether it is a metal or non-metal. So you see here, since element X is in group 16 and has 6 valence electron, which I have already shown here, to complete its octet it needs 2 more. Always remember, when the valence electron is 1, 2 and 3, so octet is very far. Octet means 8. 5, 6 and 7, octet is very near. Okay, that means here the number of valence electron itself will be the number of valency. But here we will see how much it requires, because it will gain. How much it requires to fulfill its octet or get the position of octet. 5 requires 3, 6 requires 2 and 7 requires 1. Okay, that means as we are talking about 6, definitely it will require 2 more electrons. Here it is given 2 more electrons, therefore its valency definitely will be 2. So remember, 1, 2 and 3, whenever it will be there in the valence electron, 1, 2 and 3 whenever it will be there in the valence electron, it is called metal or non-metal. First of all you say. But here you see we are not getting valence electron, but we are getting valency. What we are getting? Valency. So valency is 1, 2 and 3. Valency is 1, 2 and 3, and it falls in group number 16. That means right side of the periodic table. Somewhere around here. I already told you this part was metal. As you proceed towards this side you will get non-metal. Okay, so definitely it is a non-metal because it tends to gain electrons. It is electronegative in nature to achieve a stable electronic configuration, and the element will be sulfur. So what is the element? The element is sulfur. So how do you come to know that it is sulfur? Period number 3. Okay, period number 3 element, it is sulfur, means 3 cells, suppose group period 3 and group 16. Group 16 elements you already know it. Group 16 elements, if you 16, okay, this one will be the group 16 elements. Okay, so definitely it will be sulfur over here because it falls in group 16 and it falls in period number 3. So this is the answer, sulfur. Next, differentiate between arteries and veins by stating 2 key structural or functional difference. You already know that artery carries oxygenated blood, veins carry deoxygenated blood. Okay, so that is why mostly oxygenated and mostly deoxygenated. They have thick elastic walls as blood emerges from heart under high pressure. Remember, arteries are having thick walls because inside it blood goes with high pressure over here. But in veins, their primary role is to just go to the enter into the lungs, or from the body to the which part of the heart? In the right atrium. Remember, so that is why they have thinner walls and possess valves to ensure blood flows only in one direction towards the heart. So it will take only towards the heart, but the role of artery, it will pump the blood to whole over the body. That is why it is having a very rigid structure. So these are the two differences. Next difference, distinguish between inherited trait and acquired trait. I already told you in class, inherited, which you earned by birth, and acquired after birth. So you see, these are the characteristics controlled by genes and passed from parents to offspring. They affect the DNA of the germ cells. These are traits developed during lifetime of an individual due to environment experience. Suppose you are riding a bicycle, you have fallen down. Okay, you have fallen down, you have got a wound or cut in your leg. In the next generation, this character will not be passed. So this is a part of acquired character. Inherited character, just like eye color, natural hair color, free attached earlobes. But in case of acquired trait, it is learning to swim, a scar from injury, building muscle mass. These are certain examples which you can give in case of acquired trait. Next, question number 9. Consider the trends in the modern periodic table. Why do all elements belonging to the same group exhibit similar chemical properties? In group, suppose group number 1, all are having similar properties. Why? Due to the valence electron. Remember, due to the valence electron. Group number 1 means what? Number of valence electron equals to number of group. This is only for group number 1 and group number 2. From 13 to 18, I have already told you, you have to do 10 plus valence electron in order to get the group number. Okay, so the elements belonging to the same group exhibit similar chemical properties because they possess same number of valence electron. Electrons in the outermost shell, valence electron determine the chemical reactivity. Question number 2. How do the tendency of elements lose electron change as we go down a group, and what is the reason behind it? So see, definitely the tendency of electrons will lose as you move from up to down. You can see the size of or the atomic radius increases. Atomic radius increases means the effect or the pull of the nucleus will decrease. So suppose here nucleus is here, this here pull will be more, here pull will be more, but here pull will be less. Why? Because the size is increasing, and as the electrons go far away from the nucleus, the pull slowly decreases. So from up to down in a group, what happens? The pull decreases. So the tendency of the elements to lose electron will increase. The electrons will easily lose the electrons will easily go away from the cell. So this is what is told. How does the tendency of the elements lose electrons change as we go down? So while moving down a group, new electron cells are continuously added. New electron cells will be added as you move from up to down, which increases the atomic radius. The atomic radius means what? Distance between nucleus and the outermost electron is called atomic radius. This increases the distance between the nucleus and outermost electron, decreasing the effective nuclear pull as the electrons, suppose this is nucleus and this is electron, as the electrons go away from the nucleus, the pull from the nucleus decreases, and easily this electron can go away from the cell. So this is what explained here. Next, describe double circulation, very important in human beings. Explain briefly why it is necessary for human body. So why it is necessary? Because we are warm-blooded animals. Warm-blooded animals, we require lots of energy. Why? Despite of outer environmental condition, we just keep our inner temperature stable. So this is about the characteristic of warm-blooded animals. So that is why you see, for maintaining a great energy level, double circulation is required. Describe the process of double circulation in human beings. Okay, double circulation refers to the circulation system where blood flows through a heart twice during one complete cycle. Twice it flows on. Suppose this is heart, this is heart. So once it goes from the body, enters this part, okay, again goes to the lungs, again enters this part. What? This is circulation 1, circulation 2. Double circulation takes place. Okay. So this part is called your pulmonary circulation, which involves lungs, and the down part is called systemic circulation. Two types of circulation is there, already have discussed in class. So deoxygenated blood is pumped from the right ventricle to the lungs for oxygenation and returns to the left atrium. Systemic circulation, oxygenated blood is pumped from left ventricle to all body parts and deoxygenated blood enters. You just see this notes properly. I have already explained in class. So what is the necessity? Very, very important, this necessity. It prevents the mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood. If both were mixing together, both will get mixed. So this is the prime necessity, that oxygenated blood and deoxygenated blood does not mix together. This is the necessity for double circulation. This highly efficient supply of oxygen is very important for humans to maintain a high energy to produce a high energy to maintain a constant body temperature, okay, as we are warm-blooded animals. Last, very important, this is a question on heredity. So a green stem rose plant and a brown stem rose plant is given. Green stem rose plant is given by capital GG, and brown stem rose plant is given by small gg. As you know that capital letters are used only for dominant traits, and small gg, here small letters are used for recessive traits. So here dominant color, as we are using only color as a character or trait, that is why definitely it will be monohybrid cross. This is a question of monohybrid cross. Now you see here, you already remember how to fuse or cross between monohybrids. Okay, so now you see here, capital G and capital G is given. This is parental generation. Okay, this one is parental generation. Capital G is given. Why both capital G and small g is given? This one is green and this one is brown. Remember, green here is the dominant characteristic and brown here is the recessive characteristic. So as you can see here, two capital G's are given. That means gene exists in pairs. Gene exists in pairs. Okay, that is why it is given. Now the next step is gamete formation. In gamete formation, what happen? It will segregate. So here, as both are capital G, that is why one G will come here, and from here one small g will come here. Now they will fuse among themselves. Here the space is less, so let me write over here gamete. Okay, capital G and small g is there. Now both will fuse and it will become capital G, small g. This is F1 generation. In F1 generation, you got capital G, small g, which is green color. As you know that capital G represents dominant trait, which is green in color, and small g is brown. So that is why in F1 generation we get green color. Okay, so in F1 generation, what is the characteristic or what we will do in F1 generation? Remember, in F1 generation always self-pollination is done. Okay, self-pollination means we have to copy the same thing which we got in F1, capital G, small g multiplied by capital G, small g. Now you see here, you can find gamete over here. Capital G, small g is there, and capital G, small g. You can make Punnett square. Okay, this one capital G, small g, capital G, small g. So when you write this one, it will be capital G, capital G, capital G, small g, capital G, small g, and small g, small g. You got 4. You got 4 over here. So write it here. In F2 generation, what you got it? Capital G, capital G, capital G, small g, capital G, small g, and small g, small g. In order to find the genotypic ratio, we have to see how much capital G's are there. Only one, write it 1. It's 2. How much capital G, small g's are there? 2 are there, write it 2. How much small g are there? Only 1. So genotypic ratio will be 1:2:1. Now you see, in order to find the phenotypic ratio, you have to write the characteristics. Suppose capital G are there. Always remember, when two dominants are there, the dominants get expressed. When one dominant and one recessive is there, dominant only get expressed. Recessive only get expressed when both recessives will be there. So now you can see here capital G means green in color. Capital G small g means what? Once again green, and small g is brown in color. What color? Brown in color. So what will be the phenotypic ratio? Green, 3 are green only and 1 is brown. That means the the phenotypic ratio will be 3:1. It will be 3:1. Phenotypic means we go about the physical characteristic. Okay. Now in order to find the percentage from 3:1, if you find the percentage, that means 3 is similar and 1 is different. Okay. So now you see here 1, you are asked about the recessive, only about the brown. Out of the 4, how much is present? 1, 2, 3 and 4 is present. Out of the 4, in denominator if you write 4, and out of 4 only 1, how much you got recessive? 1 multiplied by 100. So if you do, it will be how much percent? It will be 25%. That means we directly got the answer over here. In F1 progeny we got green stem. I have already shown here. Okay. When F1 is self-pollinated, the F2 progeny phenotypic ratio is 3:1. Therefore, the percentage of the brown stem plants, the recessive plant percentage is asked, it will be 25%. Okay. Total 4 means how much? It will be 100%. Okay. The genotypic ratio of F2 generation, what is the genotypic ratio of F2 generation? It is 1:2:1. No need of writing these things. 1:2:1. Therefore, the ratio of the genotype is GG to GG is 1:2. What is asked here? The ratio of genotypes GG and capital G small g in the F2 progeny. Now let us see this one. Only what is asked? Only capital G to capital G small g is asked. That is why, I think that is why it is written over here. So you can exclude this one, small g, only these two ratios are asked. That is why you can write here 1:2. So revise it properly before exam. So this type of questions are very important for HSLC. So thank you. Happy learning. Have a nice day ahead.